Hello guys, I welcome you all back to this YouTube channel. So today I'll be doing another outlook for pound USD. So last week on from last week's outlook on pound USD talked about all the structure here, and we talked about all the structure here and why we wanted to see price push down and maybe take out this low. So that's the main things we talked about last week. So this week, like the previous week's outlook, that's from the outlook I uploaded last week, is basically the same thing with the one I'll be doing today. So just like a refresh on that particular outlook, some like an update on that particular outlook. So from last week, we were somewhere here, somewhere here last week. That's before I did the outlook. And I see that since daily market structure is bearish, like we have lower highs and lower lows here. So since the daily market structure is bearish, we could look to take sales from maybe extreme supply zones as this. And I also talked about this range here and this high, and I give the reasons why I was considering this go high here to this low to be my actual trading range and not this high to this low, but from this to this to this low. So if you didn't watch that particular video, I recommend you do that because it's actually very important. It's a lot more detailed. I think it's more detailed than maybe what I'll be doing because I'll mostly be focusing on this bit of price action here. So last week, let me go to the daily time frame so you'll be able to understand. So last week we had all this price action here, and price was in that pullback phase. That price in that pullback phase, like is more likely that I say that price has already completed the pullback phase. So we're looking for areas to take sales from, and we see that the structure of the daily time frame on pound USD is bearish. And if the structure of the market is bearish, we normally just expect price to make lower highs and lower lows. So we have like this lower high here, we have a lower low, we have another lower high, have a new lower low, and now price was in that lower high phase. So that's what we were looking at. So we are currently in that pullback phase, and we know that after a pullback we'll mostly get a new lower low. So that's like the key concept that's like the main thing we were trading, and that's what we were mainly looking at. So going to the 4 hour here, we see that we have a break construction. We had a break construction here because for this pullback, like because this pullback on the 4 hour here is like a single pullback on the daily time frame. So this single push right here, this is a single pullback on the daily time frame. But here on the 4 hour, you can see that for this pullback, for this daily pullback to take place, started forming some kind of bullish market structure on the 4 hour. That's price making higher highs and higher lows, and the daily time frame is going to continue that very structure. This single push on daily time frame will mostly become a bearish market structure on the 4 hour time frame. So Now, looking at the current structure we have here on the 4 hour, we already know that the daily time frame is bearish, and we want to see a lower low. So we want to implement that idea to the 4 hour time frame. So here on the 4 hour, last week I said that this is our break of structure here. So for a daily time frame to push down here, the 4 hour will have to change its bullish structure and become bearish. So I say that these are break of structure here, and price has pulled back. But now, even if we've had a break of structure here, we can't really say that the structure on the forward time frame is truly bearish now, because we don't have that lower high confirmation yet. So we couldn't really say okay this that the we couldn't really say the structure on the forward is bearish. So for us to say that the structure on the forward is truly bearish, we need to see like that lower high, which will be somewhere here. We need to see that lower high form somewhere here and then make a new lower low. That's the only time we can say these are lower high is if we have price pushing down after forming this high and making a new lower low. That's the only time we can say that okay, now we have that lower high confirmation, so you can be confident if price should pull back maybe into this supply range, or maybe into this extreme one here, or just into any zone within this particular leg. So you can feel confident picking itself from there to then target this daily low. So now I'm going to that's still on the forward time frame now, since we've had that lower high confirmation, we can say that this so, so we can say that this is our new high, and yeah, these are new lower high and these are low here. So we can basically say we are working within this range here. I don't know the actual low yet, but we can say we are working within this high here to maybe anywhere price decides to stop and pull back here. So that's mainly what we are working with, and we can also say that this zone here from this low here to the top of this range here is our new supply range. So we can expect price to pull back. I expect price to pull back into maybe just tap the bottom of the range, maybe tap the bottom of this range and then continue the bearish structure, or just maybe look for some kind of refinement. You can look at this particular one here. See, I don't really like this particular candle, but you can look at the week. And look at this week here as maybe one of our zones. I don't really like mapping out my zone this way, but can look at maybe this as one of our zones, or this engulfs candle here, including this week here as one of our zones. So this is basically just looking at something within this whole supply range. So that's what we are working with. And now you know that the daily time frame is on that push phase to pick out this low and form a new lower low somewhere down here. But now looking at the 4 hour structure, looking at the 4 hour structure, you can see that we've had a break of structure here, price pulling back, lower high confirmation here, and now we've had another break of structure. And we know that after a break of structure, we'll mostly get a pullback. So I don't really see price pushing all the way down straight. Like no, I don't really see price pushing straight down to take out this low. It's possible that price might just do that, but It's not really something I would like to see, but if that happens, then I'll just have to trade what I see and just trade what the market is doing. But I think what the market will most likely do is, since we have this break of structure, we got a pullback, we have another break of structure. Like, it makes sense to look for a pullback. So if that's the, maybe if we get some kind of uh, bullish market structure and confirmation on the 15-minute time frame, then maybe we can then look for that pullback trade and target maybe some of this supply range or just target the bottom of this range. But I truly want to see a pullback into this 4 hour range and before price pushes on to take out this daily low. So that will be like maybe next week. That's the coming week. Because today is Friday. Yeah, the market is closed now. So going to the 15 minutes, just need to see maybe if there's anything I can work with down here. Try. So here on the 15 minutes, here on the 15 minutes, we can look at this as so we can look at this as our structure right here, because we can see that like this full push phase, this full 4 hour push here, we can see some kind of bearish market structure in the market that's following the 15 structure. So if we are to get a pullback, this the bearish market structure and the 15-minute time frame will most likely be broken. Like, price will most likely break that market structure before going up. So if price to go up, we'll start seeing some kind of bullish market structure. And since we are mostly day trading, we'll be trading more of the 15-minute structure in line with the 4 hour. Like, we study what the 4 hour time frame is trying to do or what the 4 hour time frame is telling us, and then we combine it with the 15-minute structure and see if we could get in on a trade when we combine what we have on the 4 hour and the daily, on the 4 hour and the 15 minutes with the 1 minute time frame, and see what we have. So we can say that this is our last range here. This is like our last supply range. So you can have something like this is our last supply range. And you can also say that this high here is our last lower high. So as long as price is trading below this high, we are still bearish. So you can say that these are trading range on the 15-minute time frame. So we have something like this. So we had a good construction. So price like in that pullback phase on the 15-minute, but because the 4 hour needs to pull back. It's not a must that it have to pull back, but it's for me it's something I want to see, like something I want to see happen. If that doesn't happen, I'll just trade the 15-minute structure. But since we think the 4 hour will pull back and we have this as our last lower high, so if price pushes up above this high and we get that maybe on Monday or Tuesday, if price pushes up above this high and we get some kind of body break construction here above this high, then we can look to take the trade. So the thing is, if we break this high, we can say that we've broken the bearish structure, but we are not yet confirmed bullish. So we can just wait for that pullback higher low to form, which maybe price pulling back into maybe this new demand range here and pushing up to make a new higher high. So we can then take the trade whenever price pulls back into a demand range again. and then target maybe the bottom of this supply zone, that's this 4 hour supply. And that's basically how I'll be looking at it on the 15-minute time frame. But until price, until the market opens on Monday, we don't really know what will happen. So you just keep an eye on the 15-minute time frame, on 4 hour time frame, see what the market presents to us. So that will be it for the outlook on pound USD. And just wanted to also talk about the trades I took during the week on pound US. Like this week, I traded mainly pound USD. Like uh, I I did trade Euro USD, did trade Euro USD, but it wasn't as much as I did on pound USD. And this is like one of those weeks where we don't really have any actual. I can't really say I didn't have a winning trade, but like I didn't really have a trade that actually went straight to my take profit targets. And yeah, that is it's one of those weeks where you have some break-even trades and you take so many partials and stuff like that. But I also take some losses. So to on pound USD, I think I took around 3 trades, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, I took 2 trades on pound USD. One was, I won't really say that it was a win because I didn't get that my price didn't really get to my take profit target. So it was more like some kind of partials, like a partial out on the trade, and then it ended as a break even. I did take some partials and then I took a loss somewhere here because I think I used the wrong supply for my entry. And then on Euro USD, which I'll talk about when I do the Euro USD outlook, I did take some break evens as well on Euro USD last week. So let me go straight to pound. So on Monday, we had this. I like this. Let me add these sessions. So I'm gonna work on those. So here on Monday, we had like this break structure here. I like this break structure here. And honestly, I didn't really know where to trade from. I didn't know if I should trade from this supply here. I think this is a 1 minute, sorry, 1 hour, 4 hour zone. I can't really remember the exact time frame. Let me just look around. So I'm confused myself. Yeah, this was a 4 hour buy to sell week. So I didn't really know what to use, whether to use this buy to sell week or this extreme, but prices come back into this extreme. So, and initially I didn't have the buy to sell marked up. I only had this zone here, this whole engulfed candle here. I kind of like just refined it to this particular zone. So on Monday, when I saw the reaction to that particular zone, I had to like check out what price was reacting to. So it only made sense to me to say that it was the buy to sell week, the 4 hour buy to sell week that we had here. So when we had the break of structure and we had this pullback here, this pullback here, price reacted to this particular supply zone here. So now when price pushed into this zone, I was thinking, okay, how am I even going to take this trade? So I had to like go down to the 1 minute and say that if the 1 minute aligns with the 1 minute structure aligns with the 4 hour structure. What is this? Okay. See, if the 1 minute structure aligns with the 4 hour structure, and then I get the confirmation that I need for to take the if I get the confirmation that I need to take the trade, then I'll just take the trade from the 1 minute time frame. So that was how I was looking at it. So Monday, and it was so London session was almost over. It was around late New York session. So that was when I took the trade. So here on the 1 minute time frame. So when price pushed into this range, when price pushed into this particular range, I was thinking, okay, where is my last lower high? And it only made sense to say this was like my last lower high, this low here. So I was kind of like looking at this to be my demand range. That's from this high to this low. So I said, okay, if I must take a sell, like just the normal entry model that I normally use, like if I must take a sell, I want to see that break of the bullish structure, that's price breaking the structure, price pulling back to confirm the structure by respecting it and making a new lower low. Then I can take the trade whenever price pulls back again into the created supply range, and then that is where I'll take my entry. So that's exactly what I was looking at here. So when price pushed back down into this, we had like this push down, it has some kind of reaction to this supply range, and then we broke the structure here. So I'll say, okay, we have a break of structure. Now I need to see price pull back into the range, respect the range, and then push out to make a new lower low, which is what we got here. So I was like, okay, where should I take my entry? So I had like multiple engulfed candles. So what I normally do is when I have many engulfed candles, like I had this particular candle here, I was looking at this candle here as my potential entry. And because I did not want to miss out on any trade, or I didn't want to place so many limit orders, so I normally just go up time frames to see maybe if there is a larger candle. I also had this particular candle here, and then this extreme candle. These are like the zones I was looking at. I don't really know the exact zone to use. So what I normally do is I will just go up and down time frames and see maybe if there is a zone I could use. I don't want to be in a situation whereby I'll set my limits somewhere here. I'll set my limits here and stop loss here, and then price will just come up just maybe a little bit above this particular candle and maybe tagging my stop loss and then going in my direction. I really don't like trades like that, so I try to avoid them. So I normally just go up and down time frames. Let's check the 3 minute time frame first. Let's try this thing. Okay. So let's check the 15 minute time. Sorry, the 3 minute time frame. I mainly use the 3 minutes and 5 minutes when I'm doing stuff like this. So here on the 15 minutes, we don't really have anything defined. Like why am I look out for engulfed candles like this particular candle here, engulfed candle. I think this was a 5 minute zone. That's why I normally look out for. Say okay, yeah. So we had lava engulfed candle here. This so we had this 5 minute engulfed candle. That's why I normally use as my refined zones. So that's where I set my limits, and I just wanted to pick a 5 pip stop loss. That's why I had to like adjust my entry just maybe somewhere into the zone. And I was using this 1 minute engulfed candle the one that I had marked up within the zone. So, so yeah, I was looking at this engulfed candle with this one is engulfed candle. I just set the limits in a place where I know that if price pushes back into the range, I will be tagged into the trade, like I'll be in on the trade. And I also had to like put my stop loss in a place where for me I think it was safe enough just above this one. My entry was somewhere here and for me it was really a nice trade. So that was how I took the sell for and yeah, this was the first trade I took on one day. So it ran somewhere around 1 is to 14. Yeah, 1 is to 14, 1 is to 15, but my tip was actually at 1 is to 16. So I closed majority of my trades here. Like I just had like around 10% left. So maybe see if price will push down into this. So I closed majority of them just close to the take profit. I usually don't set take profit like they're just like partial out. So just partial out when price move in my direction. I think it works for me. So for the second trade, same D is basically the same scenario, but here I was working with the 15-minute zone. It's actually a 4 hour supply. So I was working with this 15-minute engulfed candle here. So and then till London session, I didn't really have this zone marked up to be honest. So but from the 4 hours, it was like one of the zones I was looking at following the 4 hour structure, like this whole zone was like one of the zones I was looking at from. So yeah, on the 15-minute time frame, when London session opening, we had like this, uh, we had like this fast movement in price up into this 15-minute supply, and I was thinking, okay, we have a Shanghai here. This is a Shanghai, so price kind of like have swept a Shanghai. I didn't really want to set a limit up here, but we had like price sweeping a Shanghai, making some, let's say, the high of the day, somewhere around here. So when price broke this internal low here, because if I was to look at structure, this is what I'll be looking at. Looking at this as my structure point on the 15-minute time frame. But I know from my high time frame analysis, I know that the forward time frame is bearish, and if the 15-minute time frame should become bearish, even if I was to take the trade just based off of this break of structure, I was taking the trade based off of a 1 minute confirmation. Like I wasn't just taking the trade because I have a break of structure. Like the 1 minute time frames aligned with the 4 hour time frame. So for me, it made sense for me to take a trade somewhere, to take a sell, even when I haven't had a true structure or break like this. It all depends on how you understand and restructure. So when I saw price break below slow here, I was saying, okay, this is my new range, this high to this low. So if price pulls back to anything within this range and I get a reasonable confirmation on the 1 minute, then I'll take the trade. So that was when I went to the 1 minute time frame, and then just stayed waiting for price to just waiting for the setup to complete its formation. So So here on the 1 minute, was it? Yeah, here. So I was looking at this range. At first, I was looking at this range, and then this supply is on here. It's like it is not really the extreme supply, but I think it was an engulf candle. So, yeah, it was an engulfed candle, so that's why I normally. So I was looking at this engulfed candle here as my supply, and I also had like this last era of supply before the reconstruction. I mean, they are also important zones to look at. So, so I was looking at this share, just refined to this. And I was thinking, okay, if I get a confirmation here, I'll take the sell. Like if I get that whole 1 minute confirmation, then I might talk about like have like a break of structure, a confirmation high low, and then I'll take the trade whenever price pulls back down again, back up into the range again. So that's what I was looking at here. And so here, when price pushed into this range, you had a break of structure here. And so I was looking at this as my last higher low. So price broke the structure, price pull back. It didn't really pull back into that. I think that's where I messed things up. To be honest, I think that's where I messed a lot of things up. So it didn't pull back into the range exactly, but price did pull back and then broke this structure here. So I was like, okay, we have that break of structure, we have a pullback, we have we have that pullback, a lower high, and then with a lower low. So it makes sense for me to take the entry here. And so I took the trade. I got a really nice reaction, but price just pushed up into this extreme. I don't know why price did that, but it's just part of trading. So I took the loss here and price put back up into this, and I didn't really get in on the trade again because for me, I didn't even know where to get in again, so I just had to let the trade go. But after I was stopped out, so the price just went straight down to take profit targets that I use. I was using basically the same target for the first trade I took on Monday and the trade and the second one I took on Wednesday. So those were like the two main trades I took last week. I didn't really get much opportunities. I didn't really get much trading opportunities on Thursday, but I was very active, so I didn't get much on Thursday and on Friday. I didn't even plan on trading on Friday, so I didn't really do much on Friday. So as I said earlier, I did take some other trades on Wednesday, but I didn't really hit any take profit. But they were mainly partials and break even, and for me it was really a very good week, to be honest. So that's it for this week's review and outlook. And I really hope you enjoyed the video, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, do well to subscribe and like the video. So that's it, guys. Bye for now, and have a lovely weekend till maybe tomorrow when I do the outlook and review for you University. So bye for now.